Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast with Phil Graham. We help you master Facebook ads and give you an unfair advantage over your competition. Are you ready? Let's go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast, episode 444. Phil Graham here. We're going to be doing a frequently asked questions episode today, but it just hit me when I said 444. You guys, that's a really big number. Like, that's insane. I've been doing this podcast for over 8 years, every single week, and it kind of blows my mind that we're well into the 400s of episodes. Like, that's kind of crazy, but I love it. It's one of my most favorite times of the week, and I am super glad you're here because today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I typically do this 2 or 3 times a year, 4 at the most, where we do a quick Facebook ads frequently asked questions episode. I'm going to answer some of the most common questions I get from advertisers and business owners all the time, but we're also going to have some fun with it while we're learning. And the first thing is, I want to point out these are all real questions from real people. However, we're going to be using AI to voice the questions, so you're going to hear it in an AI voice. But just wanted to make sure you guys know, yes, the AI is the voice, but the actual questions came from real people, real questions, real people. Keep that in mind. And I think the most fun part here is that my assistant went through my emails and our DMs, and, we get inundated with lots of messages on a regular basis with questions and stuff like that. And she chose some of the most common ones for this episode. And she even chose the AI voices and all that. I don't know what she picked. I didn't give her a list to pick from. She has not shown me what she picked. So the fun part is when you and I hear the AI voice the question, we're going to be hearing this together for the first time on this episode. And that means I don't know what's coming next. I don't know what the questions are going to be. So you're going to get my reaction right away. There's no preparing or anything like that. It is whatever the question is, and I'll tell you straight off at the top of my head. I think that makes it more fun, and hopefully you do too. I'm going to keep this episode short, sweet, full of value, and very actionable for you guys. But before we jump in to the questions, a couple quick things. First of all, it is November 11th, and that means here in the USA, it is Veterans Day. And I wanted to say Happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans, everyone in the military and their families. You guys sacrifice so much. You don't get appreciated enough for it. And so I wanted to say, first of all, thank you for your service. And second of all, happy Veterans Day. And I hope you and your family are having an amazing day because you absolutely deserve it. The other thing I want to mention is anyone looking for some help with their ads, if you want to increase your skills as it relates to your ads, maybe it's related to AI and how you should use that with your ads and how can you avoid a lot of mistakes people are making with AI. So maybe you want some coaching and consulting, or maybe you just want somebody to do it all for you and just run your ads for you so you can do what you like to do or do what you do best. For either one of those things, just go to my website, philgrahamdigital.com, or you can DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital, and I would love to connect with you. So let's jump right into the questions. Again, AI voices, but these are real questions from real people. I have no idea what the questions are going to be. We're going to hear them for the first time together. So let's roll the first question.
I have a question. Should I let Facebook's AI choose my audience or do it manually? Also, do interest audiences still work?
Okay, I know why my assistant chose this because we get asked this like a bajillion times. Should you let Facebook's AI/Advantage Plus run your audience and choose your audience for you, or should you do it yourself manually? And the answer is, and this is the correct answer for most situations, the answer is both. It would be wrong to do one or the other unless you've tested it out like crazy. I would not recommend at all only doing Advantage Plus, even though sometimes Meta recommends that. I don't recommend it for a lot of reasons because I see lots of data. I see a lot of people who do that and they lose money and they're failing. So there's a lot of issues that can happen with that. Now, let me be clear. I love AI and I even love Advantage Plus. I use it a lot. But is it always the best audience? No way. Sometimes the segmented audience succeeds and the Advantage Plus fails. And other times it's vice versa. So the key is you want to test both. It's really important to test both. Let me just give you a quick example. There's tons of reasons why an Advantage Plus audience can fail in a lot of situations. I want to give you one quick example. Somebody came to me for consulting. They were a women's brand that only sold to women, and they only sold to women that were between 25 and 45 years old. That was it. Nobody else. And they were running Advantage Plus. Now, with their Advantage Plus, they put in 25 to 45, women only under the gender. But that was taken by Facebook, by their AI, as a suggestion, not a demand, because it's Advantage Plus, and that's how it's set up in their account. It's a suggestion, not a demand. And so I went and looked at their data. You can do a breakdown and see where these ads are going. And it's crazy. They were getting a bunch of leads at a really low cost, but you know what? Most of those leads were coming from 65-plus-year-old men. Now remember this. This was a female brand that only sold to women 25 to 45. Yet there was all these leads from 65-year-old men and older. Now they were not targeting them. They specifically said women 25 to 45. But the AI will do extra targeting and extra stuff that you may not even know about if it thinks it'll improve results. And what was happening was they were getting all these low-cost leads, which were actually worthless, but it looked good because it was like low cost. So guess what? That's what Facebook's AI did more of, because it's like, oh, wow, these leads are coming in at a low cost. Let's put this in front of more 87-year-old guys. Total failure. So we had to turn that one off, do a segmented audience that was not Advantage Plus so that it would only go to females. That's only one example. There's tons of reasons why it might not succeed when it's Advantage Plus. Now, again, let me be clear. I like Advantage Plus. I use it a ton. I use it on almost every account, but I'm also always testing against it with something, whether I've already done it or I'm still doing it. I test against it with segmented audiences. So the answer to this is you should do both, absolutely, without a doubt, and then let things run long enough so you know what works and what doesn't, and then use your data to make smart decisions, not just random talking heads or absolutes where you should only do this and not that. No, do both, use data, and be smart. Okay, let's jump to question number 2.
Do Facebook ads still work for small budgets?
Yes, small budgets and Facebook ads. I've done whole episodes on this in the past, and it's been probably a little while since I've done it, so I'll do it again in the near future as well, because it is a very common question. I can see why she put this in here. Yes, Facebook ads can still work on a small budget without a doubt. Is it guaranteed? Does it always work? No, of course not. It doesn't always work in any situation. It's not guaranteed. Nothing in entrepreneurship or business is. And if somebody tells you that it is, then run the other way because they're probably scamming you. Is it guaranteed? No. Can it work? Absolutely. You can still reach a lot of people with a small budget. The challenge with a small budget is you have to be even better. There's less room for error with a small budget than with a large budget. Now, you should be highly skilled regardless of your budget. But again, with a small budget, less room for error. So you've got to be better. And you don't want to be making a lot of mistakes. So yes, the good news is, though, it is possible to still succeed. I've seen it happen. I've done it myself with certain clients. And you might have to start small, but then if you're doing it right and you're testing in the right way and you're using data to make smart decisions, then you can hopefully start seeing some success and then up your budget little by little until you start having a large budget. It doesn't have to start that way. You can start small. It's definitely still possible. Is it easy? No. Is it doable? Is it possible? Absolutely, it's possible. Okay, question number 3. Let's see what we have.
Thank you for always sharing so much value on your podcast each week. I thought I would ask a fun question. What is your favorite TV show of all time?
Okay, this was a weird one. I thought they were going to be all ad questions. We do like throwing something in that's not an ad question from time to time. And sure enough, my assistant threw this one in. It surprised me. I had no idea. Best TV show of all time. I got to say Seinfeld. That's my favorite show of all time. I know it's kind of an older show. I love Seinfeld. I don't watch it that much now because I've watched it so much that I have practically every episode of the 9 years of episodes memorized from watching it a lot over the years. In fact, I could probably win any Seinfeld trivia competition there is. So that's definitely my favorite show. There's tons of shows I like, including some modern ones as well, but that's just my favorite. You might be, I know there's a lot of people that would have said Friends, and there's so many other shows too. I have to say Seinfeld. Not sure if you'll agree with me or not, but that is my favorite. But my friends, I hope this was helpful. I know the AI voices were kind of cheesy, but it was still fun, and they were real people's questions, so that's cool. And as always, just a reminder, it's always important to point out that every business is unique. Results can vary. There's no guaranteed outcomes. So always keep that in mind. But with that being said, episode 444 is in the books. Really glad you guys were here. If you want to get in touch, philgrahamdigital.com is the website, or DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital. Would love to connect with you. And again, if you're in the U.S. and you're a veteran, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. We appreciate you. And to everyone else, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys for being here as well. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. And I will talk to you on next week's episode. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. Please remember to subscribe and share this with all your friends. For show notes, more tips, and to learn more about Phil, please visit philgrahamdigital.com/podcast.